All right, hope everybody's doing well today. Let's talk about Martin Truex Jr. What do you think? Is he going to retire?
It really depends on how he does in these next couple races. If he doesn't get a win or top fives at that, he might just think, well, my results aren't where they should be. Maybe I just retire and call it quits.
All right, so I'm thinking that I believe his decision might be a little more personal than that, a little more personal than race results.
Couldn't go anywhere in the garage last week without people asking me what you're doing, and I keep telling them that you tell me you don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, have you gotten any? I mean, are more people asking you, or
everybody asks me, but I still don't have any news. So
yeah,
I'll let you know when I find out.
Are you? I guess are you tormented at all? Or
I am. I think about it every day.
He's ran 600 races, so he's used to not finishing first every race. And I think that he's been competitive this year. He's probably down a little bit by his standards, but fifth in the point standings would not be a reason to quit. So I'm thinking that it's probably a little more personal. His decision, while reporters don't want to talk about it, I think it probably has more to do with Sherry, how she's doing, and whether or not he thinks it's worth spending that time away from her that he has to spend away from her. Now, we know she in the past has been the wind beneath his wings and probably was a great reason for the resurgence in his career.
In 2014, Sherry received her own diagnosis: stage 3 ovarian cancer. Her 5-year survival rate estimated at less than 30%.
So Martin Truex Jr. has 31 wins. He has a championship. So the big question becomes, does he have any real reason to continue racing?
Well, I mean, besides the Daytona 500 and if it ever comes back, the Brickyard 400, he really doesn't have much. I mean, he has 2 championships in the Xfinity Series, which seems to be forgotten about, but that happened almost a decade ago. But besides the Indy race and the Daytona 500, he doesn't really have much to accomplish. I mean, yeah, sure, he could go for 100 wins, but that's not going to happen.
Right. So the sad part of being a Martin Truex Jr. fan is that many people retire from NASCAR and they just go into the booth or they take up other roles in NASCAR. But will Martin Truex Jr. completely disappear from the sport?
I honestly think so, because he's never, not to my knowledge, ever been in a broadcast booth. And I think he would just probably go to retire and just go fishing.
Right. He's not a real chatty guy. He's a nice enough guy, but I don't think he's the kind of guy you're going to sit in the booth and expect a whole bunch of commentary from. And so Martin Truex Jr., it doesn't look like he's going to ever own a race team or do anything of that nature. And I agree with you. I think he'll probably go to fishing, and that'll be the last that anyone ever hears. And that's a very sad thing if you're a Martin Truex Jr. fan, because for those of us that are, he adds a lot to the race. He gives us a driver that wins without sheer aggression and wins on skill, and that's the kind of driver that I really enjoy watching.
Yeah, when I first became a NASCAR fan back in 2018, I saw Truex as this unstoppable beast, because I got right in the prime of his Cup career when he was winning 7 to 8 races a year pretty much, and it was insane. Seeing him not be that way this year, hearing talks of retirement just kind of feels weird to hear.
Yeah, to listen to Martin Truex Jr.'s interview, it's really hard. He's very cryptic, and it's difficult to tell whether he's really planning to retire or whether he's not. And he says that he's tormented by the decision. And I think that this torment, it really does probably lean towards that personal side. I think he has a love for racing. I think you cannot doubt that. Watch him race this year. He'll get a penalty. He'll go to the rear. He'll work his way back up through the crowd, and he will just do that time and time again. He's a fiercely competitive racer, and I don't think that has changed at all this year. And so I don't think his passion for racing is gone, and that's probably the torment that he feels.
Well, the only time I've ever seen Truex run aggressive was in the 2018 Homestead Championship race, and that was just one slight bump. So that should say a lot about how Truex is very clean, and he's won a lot of races and just smacked the field around domination. Lead a ton of laps, or lead all but 6 laps in the Cook 600 case in 2016. But it's like, MPJ's just he's really good, but I don't know. He's kind of fell off this year in a way. He's not the same dominant force as he was.
Yeah, it's hard to say. He's got a lot of these sixth place finishes. He's got a lot of races this year where he could have been in the top 10, and then something terrible happens towards the end of the race. And so he's had some bad luck. He's had some bad things happen, I think the fire is still in his belly. I really do. And as a Martin Truex Jr. fan, I really want to see him. So Martin, if you're listening, don't retire.
And as a Logano fan, I've been pretty indifferent to him for a while, and I like rooting for him, but I've always had one part of me that's always wanted to kind of root against him just a little bit. Just with the 2018 shenanigans.
Yeah. So Martin Truex Jr. He hasn't really made a lot of enemies in the sport. He's an affable guy. I think that he is a great addition to NASCAR. He adds a lot. He's good for the sport. So I'm really hoping that he doesn't retire. But anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and make that a wrap for Martin Truex Jr. And I hope you guys are having a great day. And we'll talk to you in a while.
See you.